Going. Right, we're back on the video. So we were talking, before we were so rudely interrupted, about Tiger and Bunny Season 2, Episode 7, and we were at the point where we were discussing Lunatic and Kotetsu
Mm.
doing a demonstration to some small children.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
How
crux...
disinterested he is versus how wild Tiger is
Yes.
interacting with these kids is fantastic. Yeah.
Kaide is, her real purpose is to go to the Hero Academy, and she's picked up a brochure, which is the bit which reveals to her dad what she's actually doing, and they come clean. And he makes a very poor attempt at discussing it with his daughter, and the two children run off, and Barnaby chases after them. He stays behind and rings his brother and talks about what was it like when I told Mum I wanted to be a superhero.
Well, his brother opens with, it's like, you pissed off your daughter, didn't you? It's like, yeah, but like, it's like, yeah, you only ring me when you fucking do that.
Like,
it feels very family, is what I'm saying.
You know, those marks on Mam's hand, you know, she's like, you know, you see him all the time, she's pretty easy going, but those marks on her hand, it's from watching you on TV. You know, she knows you're a superhero and this is your job and all, but she still worries about you. And that's natural, but she's got to let you off to do your own thing as well. You got to live your life. So it's natural to be worried, but you got to, can't shoot him forever as well. You got to let him live. It's like, you're right, bro. Maybe I should see about that. Oh no, there's a pretty fucking wild construction accident. It's raining down girders like a hail of bullets on things. So good thing Barnaby is there to help the two young ladies. But yeah, it's fucking going crazy. And then that's when Kaya Fun says, well, those who can do. So she's like, I'm going to phone help, and I'm going to.
Well, initially she tried to convince her friend to help, but like too scared basically. It's like, I'm not hero material, I can't do it. It's like, well, I'll take your powers or copy your powers, and I can do it. I can swell up my face to a balloon. But unfortunately, one of the construction workers she rescues is also an exo that overwrites the power that she has.
I'm sorry. Yes. I got heat vision to put me on welding duty.
And they remind you about that earlier in the episode when they're recapping. When they're basically all showing off to Golden Ryan about how close they are to Wild Tiger's daughter.
To really impress him. And he's impressed by her really cool power, but then it's like, yeah, but you can only copy one power at a time and once. So,
yeah,
a bit of a liability in that regard.
Yeah, and so, yeah, she's falling, but luckily her dad arrives to save her and the two people she was trying to save. And then he's like, okay, yeah, I'm fine with being a superhero, but I'll take you to the Hero Academy. And then we meet the principal of the Hero Academy, who loves to hug people.
Mr. Hugs too long.
Very friendly.
Yes. I need to go back and watch the interviews on the short, which had got the 20-minute interviews. Rinchi Akoda-chan. Because I was wondering, is he based off the producer of that? Because I remember on his Twitter feed, there's lots of photos of him hugging people, and I think he looks slightly similar. And I know from interviews, in the interview with the director of The Rising, somebody asked if the producer character in that was based off anybody in real life, and his reaction was basically yes, but I can't tell you who it is.
So. I mean, besides him hugging for a little too long, he seems perfectly lovely, and even he's very good to the kid who's like, I don't even want to be here. I don't have the right to be here. And he's like, no, we'll show you how to use your powers, so you don't feel bad about it. That's what we do here.
It's not just
making
the name
celebrities.
Hero Academy seems to be a little misleading in terms of what they do. It's like,
I think it's probably a publicity thing. Yeah,
it's finding how to use your power and how that power can have a place in the world.
School for gifted youngsters.
Yes, a school.
Exactly. Not every one of them needs to be an X-Men. It's fine.
Yeah, that didn't really kick in though until Grant Morrison started writing the comic.
It really didn't. School for my private army.
I mean, the intention was there. The intention was there in New Mutants, but those pesky kids, they've got a bad role model of the X-Men being in the same school that they constantly want to go off and do X-Men stuff.
Anyways, the Blunder Twins, their world tour is going to make its next stop, probably its final stop at Sternville City, coming in by private jet. Very swish.
Where they're dicking about with the safety equipment on the plane.
Yes.
Well, it's their jet, so it's they can do what
Yeah,
they want.
you're
I
allowed,
think
I guess. Yeah.
I do hope we get some more backstory, not so much on them, but on their surrogate father, of exactly how calm he is dealing with them.
It's just like no fun. He's seen them commit like whatever kind of atrocities, and they're messing around like that for saying, "Now you boys, you be careful with those." Yes, Dad.
Yeah, they seem to be very very trying to curry his favor, very like keeping Dad happy kind of thing, which is like they've killed a lot of people, so presumably they could potentially kill him as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean they're presumably doing it all for the good of Ouroboros. Whatever that good is at this point in time in the story.
Well, it eats its own tail, so no, it starts off in this good, but it's gotta get kind of bad, but circle back around to being good again.
Yeah.
It's a metaphor.
I did end up carrying on watching the next week's episode. So
okay.
Next week you'll get a little bit more of like a contrast between them and the other characters, or some of the other characters. Okay. So I think there is definitely a purpose of those two being buddies as well, and having their own version of the parent figure that not all the other buddies, because some of them are full-grown adults. I don't think Fire Emblem and Sky High. Well, maybe they did need an adult telling them what to do.
They still needed advice.
But yeah, it's not like the stage mums we've had in the other ones.
No.
Yeah.
Next up, it is One Piece, episode 1017, A Barrage of Powerful Techniques, the Fierce Attacks of the Worst Generation. Dipping back in, because everyone was saying, wow, 2 episodes later, we got another fantastic-looking episode of One Piece.
It is just about, like, 15, 16 odd minutes of just everyone gang up on Kaido and beat him up.
Yeah.
Do you give us your flashiest moves possible?
Yeah, it feels less disciplined than 10-15. It feels like as chaotic as these 5 barely disciplined madmen attacking a giant dragon man and a very large lady. Using whatever weird superpowers they have. And, well, 3 of them have got weird superpowers. The other 2 have no superpowers. They just can hit people with blades very well.
And one of those guys with the weird superpowers also has a blade. And I did appreciate them all running at him with swords at one point.
Yeah!
It felt very piratey, yeah.
It did.
And, it doesn't get, just like getting told what to do if one say, I'm fucking, not everybody's... He's still like not good at teamwork yet. He doesn't get that. It's asking you, not telling you. It's asking.
Yeah. The one thing I didn't like is there's the bit where Kid does his like ridiculous, I'm building a giant robot, I'm inside the giant robot, and that's followed by Luffy doing his, I'm going into Gear 4, now I'm a weird, bouncy, almost giant robot man. And then they had to give Law a little bit of flashy animation. I was just hoping there was going to be no flashy animation for him. He'd just be standing there because he has no flashy power-ups he can really do.
He doesn't really do transformations, but he does transform the landscape into giant spikes.
Yes,
so I guess
he does.
That. Yeah.
And he also he has like a hand movement which is like far more extravagant than anything he's ever done. Really.
Well, he was doing a big move. He's got to do something flashy.
But on the wrist.
But I think my absolute favourite bit is Zoro bearing down on Kaido, and Kaido in his post-traumatic stress disorder, seeing the one man who hurt him before appearing in Zoro's face, and then him having to... The one time he avoids an attack, because throughout the rest of the episode, he's just letting these guys hit him. Going, and
even Big Mom is basically shouting. She recognizes it. It's like, Kaido, get the fuck out of the way.
I suppose as someone who's used to taking and swapping swords around, you can see like there's somebody in that sword. You don't want to meet them.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so he dodges that, and then it has like some absolutely fantastic impact frames of the sword actually hitting the mountaintop, where it feels like that's like a smeared drawing of a dragon's mouth chomping down. It is. There's a lot of fantastic stuff, but I think that's my favourite moment in the entire episode.
Yeah, it's just shit that's fucking erupting and just like it's just fucking. I mean, even Big Mom gets the moment there. She's just fun, like just calling down the lightning, fun slapping everybody with that. Super cool as well.
Oh,
but of course, as we know, we have the natural predator of the lightning user is one monkey D.
Yes,
Luffy.
I forgot.
I know what you're gonna say, Brian. It's my other favorite bit. That is literally taken straight from the comic because it's very, very.
Why didn't the lightning hurt you? I made a rubber. Oh, I get that. Well, that's fine. I'll breathe fire on you. Kucha! Why didn't the fire hurt you?
Yes, that's the
Guts.
bit. That's because of course, if you're reading the comics, you now know why the fire didn't hurt him.
Guts, yeah,
but,
I know.
Yeah, sure, Luffy. You just think it's guts until
you could call it that. Yeah,
you could call it that.
Guts of a kind. Good guts made manifest.
Exactly, it's guts until a giant elephant will tell him otherwise at some point, I assume. But yeah, that line, of course, now hits harder because if you read the comic, you've got more information. Yeah, it's a wonderful episode.
They'll be caught up to in like a year, probably.
Yeah, I think it'll be a year around, and then there'll probably be another crazy episode that everyone will rush to see. Where it's going to get the height of One Piece again.
Someone's going to go wild animating a cyborg dinosaur.
Yeah. I always keep an eye on Twitter of when One Piece is being good because it will come up. It comes up now in the sidebar of trending topics whenever there's a really fantastic and animated One Piece episode.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like with a lot of things. The comic is so good. I feel very little need to dip back into the show, and the show is excellent. But it's just like, give me the cream of the crop, basically.
Yeah.
So it's worth popping in for that. Yeah.
Then we got Birdie Wing Golf Girl Story episode 7, Purple Bullets. This was the thing I watched immediately after recording last week's episode, and I was like, God damn it! I said a thing, and it was immediately disproved, possibly as we were recording it. Sort of disproved.
Well, it's only one arm. You know.
It's only one arm. It's only...
You had to see the full body prosthesis golfer just yet.
Yeah, she's not entirely a robot as far as we know. But yes.
Opens up so many possibilities, though. Like, you thought the technology was confined just to like switching around and making a fancy golf course. Like, I can say a space colony. Nope.
Yeah, like if you watch this episode and you didn't stay after the credits, you fucked up because that was like the best bit. Like I was enjoying the whole fucking thing, but that was just like, oh, that's a really interesting visualization, and it's like, oh no, that's not a visualization. That's what's literally happening. That was amazing.
I thought like, she retired because of an old injury. Everyone's saying, yeah, an old injury that it didn't just take off her shoulder, it took out her entire fucking arm.
I lost my arm in the Gulf War.
Maybe, yeah, because she's like, as the same technique of saying, Eve, you think everyone got bullet shots that I got of my own right here? Because again, playing golf is the same as shooting the man. You just load and fire, put it right between the eyes.
She seems to only have the one shot, but it is like it's Crimson Rose shot or something like that. Yeah. Crimson Rose bullet.
We see a flashback where we see that she was trained by Shah Aznable as well.
Who makes an appearance. He's come back into town. He drops by the barfenage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's like,
and she's like, "We're closing down." And it's like, well, if you're closing down, sell me all of your alcohol.
Yes. I'm still not entirely clear now what Rose's thing is. Like, was she manipulating Eve so she could face in a proper golf contest?
Rival?
Yeah, because like there's nobody else worthy of battling her. But at the same time, she seemed to be convinced that she seemed to be trying. Was she lying to the other people that she said Eve comes back, or has she got some other plan to get everybody out of it at the end? I mean, by the looks of things,
I'm not
in the next episode preview does seem to indicate that everybody's running away from the mafia again.
Yeah. I think one of the reasons that Cher's back is like basically she might have given him a buzz and go like, "Hey, I'm gonna take out your other student." He's like, "We'll see about that," because I taught her more than one bullet.
Yeah.
Well, the bullet style of golfing is like a style of sole successorship. So there can be only one true heir to the style. So they must face each other in deadly golf combat until one comes out on top.
I like the way the mafiosos the boss are really getting into it. But the other thing was I really like that Viper is she's just completely like fucking babyface. She's just like, oh, she's really supportive. It's like, ooh, that drive is really gonna mess with her confidence. Don't worry, you'll get her next hole. That kind
Again,
of thing.
man, it's just like, you know, the big eyes and the tongue, the mouth constantly agog. You know, you can't tell the stereotype and say, I'm a bad guy.
Yeah, no, you're a fun cartoon character.
You're adorable. Like one of those little like adorable snakes. You can have a little pet in the head and you give it a tiny little fez onto. That's what you are.
Yeah, the guy mafia boss. See, he's played very goofily in this episode. Of like that was close enough. That should count as her potting the ball.
Yeah.
But yeah, the purple bullet of the title is a bullet that she's devised herself after learning how to slice in VR, which is where
from a girlfriend. I mean, her rival.
Yes.
Would you believe that purple is Aoi? It's weird, right?
There we go.
It's weird that kind of coincidence.
Technically, that's blue, but I guess it's bluish, blue red, purple.
It's fucking violet, whatever. But yeah, I like the idea that it's just like, did you name a golf style, a golf hit after your rival? Because that seems like that's very like sleeping next to a portrait of your rival type behavior, you know?
Yes.
I keep a picture of Lockett to remind me of how much I hate her.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't remember what the lady mafioso's name is, but yeah, she's kind of
She's
fixed.
kind of on the out now.
But she fixed that particular hole, so because she knows that Eve can only hit the ball
she can't do
forwards,
curves,
she can't
She
slice.
can't do slices.
Yeah, so this will get her. But yes, she did not realise that she had learned slicing in VR.
And initially, you think what Rose is going to do is like wear Eve down, because Eve doesn't play golf like a long game. She plays like the short game, and it's just like, oh, that's what I'll do. But that's the thing that gets her in the end, because like every shot she's kind of beaten Eve just by a few meters or something like that. And then you kind of see that crack start appearing in her shot. And I was like, oh, that's a really nice visual, yeah.
And the thing is,
but it's literal. It's literal. It's not fake.
How are they going to maintain the tension when it's back to facing off against school children?
I assume the school children are going to be mutants or cyborgs or just something fucking crazy. Yeah,
it's gotta be. I mean, definitely, you know, in the opening credits, we get to that. They go down like the line of future opponents, and we get to the one at the end, and it's just like you get this kind of aura. It's kind of like Rao, and then you cut to them like they are like playing golf in a thunderstorm.
God, if she's a golfer who was meant for the purpose just to destroy or take over the world with golf or something like that,
she seems pretty tough. She seems pretty sturdy. I would not. I mean, if we have like fucking the purple comet here coming along and teaching like young kids how to be better deadly golfers, then who's to say what's out there? She could be some kind of golfing new type.
Yeah.
She's from space.
Yeah, and so they're on the 9th hole. Eve pelts it down. It's plays to her strengths. It's a completely straight line. Ball flies down there, ridiculously long distance. Viper thinks they've got it in the bag, but Rose is like, ha ha ha. You're not the only one with bullets. She does her Crimson Rose bullet. Fires it off, and then, as we alluded to at the start of our discussion, her arm flies off.
Yeah, again, it looks like a kind of metaphor because it's like a silhouette of her arm being cut off. It's like, oh, because her arm's broken. It's like, yeah, literally, years ago.
Yeah.
Which
presumably relates to Leo with the flashback saying that's the last thing I'm going to teach you, crazy woman. So, yeah, I guess it's she's pushed her body beyond its limits and had to become a cyborg in order to play golf.
It'd be one thing if it was like, you know, like a regular fucking prosthesis or something. But it's like, no. That's like, let's get what looks like human arm bones inside glass or something
Yeah,
like
there's
that.
got some
It looks pretty
liquid.
cool.
Yeah, it's like you might have like some sort of piston in it, in some sort of
Yeah,
liquid.
yeah.
Oh, you know what it could be. You know what it could be. So she could have been like a golfing prodigy. You know, she could have been coming up to a bright future ahead of her, but you know, maybe her parents owed money to the mob, and they started fun betting her matches or rig them, and they said,
Because that
"Sorry,
is what Char says. It's like Eve isn't in playing for the mafia, is she? It's like, no, that's the one thing she refuses to do. And he's like, good, because the mafia will take your arm.
So maybe like, you know, you fucked up too many times, or it was a minute to take a fall on the 16th hole, but you didn't. So now we're going to take away your only source of livelihood. That drive of yours. No, don't. But it's like, it'll happen to you, Eve. I'm going to get you out of this life.
Yeah. It still feels there might be some good in her, but maybe she needs to be killed off in golf against the only person who could rival her, the student of the same style of martial golf. Yeah.
Rose, I must seal your fists.
And then we get the preview where Lily complains that she's not getting enough screen time.
Which is very funny, yeah.
It's okay. We're going to need to show us some gunplay any minute now. They know you'll be ready to go when that happens.
Yeah, Catherine, that's the name of the.
What was the deal with the opening? Because they changed the. There's a few bits that change in the opening, but one of the golf balls that tees down is like Viper's golf ball at one point. I was like, oh, that's strange.
They made it change up every once in a while. Just a little stuff.
Yeah, I have to say,
I thought it was like.
I'd listened to it, but I wasn't paying attention to the video.
Yeah, fair enough. You wouldn't spot it if you were looking away. Yeah.
It's very jazzy. I do like the very kind of quasi big band style of it.
On to your boy Komei, episode 8, Searching for Oneself. This is a show which has part of the reason why it goes at such a clip is because it takes up almost 4 minutes at the start of every episode with recapping the previous episode and playing the opening credits.
Well, that and before the opening credits, it talks about a bit of history that'll relate to the following plot.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess it is time wasting in that regard, but
I think it's courteous because my people choose awful. I love from SB Keem's anime. I'm gonna go tune into this. Oh, it's hilarious, all these in jokes, but it's be considerate to I just wanted to see this thing about there should be a club scene, not my anime about that. It's like, oh, it's about this fun Komei dude. Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I hadn't
get him up to speed.
I hadn't realised until this week, looking at discussions of it, is that Ayeko's named for Kobe's wife, I believe, or other people believe. The other thing I didn't realise is that current Shonen Jump comic, Doron, everybody's named after Sengoku era military figures. So hold on, Niall. I'm sure you'll get an Oda eventually in that.
Call me when he does.
But yes, it is Searching for Oneself. It is all about our two vocal leads finding their voice, where Aiko kind of has to learn to relax by relaxing too hard in the baths.
Almost drowning.
Yes, and oh god, I keep on forgetting his name. The rapper.
Kabe Taiji.
Yes, he revisits.
They say it enough, and I forget as well.
Yeah, he revisits his old haunts of where he started off as a rapper, and he learns to find it fun again, but constantly takes everything as an insult still.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few bits where he meets kind of girls, I guess, from his old school. There's like, wow, you're a legend. We didn't think you'd look so plain, and he's like, okay, don't. I mean, that feels good and bad at the same time.
I did want to see, it's unexpected that a fairly meek-looking dude like yourself, and to speak up on the stage there, and you're throwing out fucking some mad rhymes. But that's the kind of thing, though. While he may his day-to-day, his appearances seem that thing, he is about kind of perspective, when you see him that way, because that's when most people kind of see him anyway. It's when you see him on stage, you don't know this dude in his day-to-day, so you wouldn't have figure of him. But people know you primarily from being this rap artist, being this really good fucking dude.
I think it's
and that's what inspires. That's what inspires that young man who was like getting picked on the other day by the other lads in school, getting to buy stuff from the shop. He's about to intervene this time and saying, "Yeah, man, I got fucking like set a good example here." But the young lad comes back with one raps of his own, saying, "Hey, check it out! I'm here to say, look, there's a cop. If you look over that way." Actually, this time there is a police officer walking by. But, oh shit, better get out of here. He says, I'm inspirational. I'm helping the kids.
Yeah. He realizes that he is making like a positive difference in people's lives, and people kind of look up to him as a guy from the neighborhood, a guy from the school, that kind of thing, and even meets his old friend still hanging out under the underpass, but now he's a YouTuber, so it's different.
Oh, better go and check our YouTube stream. Yeah, okay, it's still working. Yes, so
I think my favorite bit with his friend was like, them kind of talking their way out of it, and he's like, I can't do it, and he gives him like a positive affirmation rap, but he fucks up all of the rhymes. I was like, that's nice. It's a kind of nice human moment. It's like, oh man, I really appreciate that, but you just fucked every rhyme there. It's terrible.
It's but the rhymes you don't hear.
But of course, part of the story is, and this is what the viewer realizes from all the visual clues, that Aiko's not going to pick up on because she's living in a real world where there aren't visual clues to tip her off as to the narrative direction. Is that Kobe deliberately sent her to perform with Nanami, but it's clear from the episode is that Nanami performing on the street is where Nanami feels she can be herself because she can't be herself in her role as one of Azalea, that's it,
Azalea.
The masked girl band, who she describes as being overproduced at one point.
The music isn't real anymore, man. That's why she's taking it to the streets.
Yes.
Keep it real.
I mean, it's sort of telling, like, like they go out to get pints to get some fried food, and then I haven't done this in ages. Like, just sit out with her friend. Do you look out too much? No, not too much. I'm just busy with a lot of shit right now, and it's just don't have much time to just relax and just let loose a bit like this. So thanks for that. And like it goes really try to fun pick up. Okay, why does Nanami? Why she sounds like so natural, and she's like I gotta get good like her. So it's like, so how do you get good? And this is very quiet. This is experience. It was fun. Say, oh yeah, experience. This guy go out there and keep playing, singing. And yeah, but it's also it's also bad experiences that you learn from, and I think that's just trying to get across.
Yeah, it's not that she's been lying up to this point. Anytime that big fucking banner van passes by in town, she's kind of like, oh, Jesus, I don't even like the look of that fucking thing. It just reminds me of everything I don't want to be as a musician.
Compromises you got to make.
Exactly, but in the bar she tries to tell. I think it's in the bar and the bath. She tries to tell her, but there's always something that comes up in the conversation that kind of like moves it off that topic, and it's like I can't quite. It feels natural enough. It didn't feel like they're trying to keep it hidden.
If they stopped singing for 5 minutes, and then the entire bathhouse is in there, surround them and cheering them on, it's like, woo, yeah, all right.
That was funny, yeah.
But yeah, after they go and relax at the baths, then they open up, and she asks Nanami to coach her, and so she gets better, and we see the spy is there. Once Iko's like, I'm singing much better now. Now I can get revenge on the Pudding Man.
Like that's basically her motivation so far. It's like, you said you wanted to like show someone up, but it's like, yeah, that son of a bitch, I'm gonna get him.
Yeah. Her reaction shots, because and also it's like countered with Kabe's is like, she's like super determined and super confident in her abilities once she's there, and you can't imagine him having the same facial response of like, I'm gonna destroy Sekitover at any point.
Yeah, it's more like for him, it's like getting back to roots and finding out why you love the thing, is where she knows she loves the thing, so fucking people should appreciate it, kind of thing. Yeah.
I think maybe laying off energy drinks would help on that as well.
Yeah.
You go for like 10 of those in a writing session. It's insane.
Yeah, and they earlier in the episode they do a performance together of the song they're going to be working on where he
He's just kind of on his foot going, yeah, one time. He's like underneath her like lovely singing. But that's fine. It adds to, you know, people love that. A bit hyping up.
It is like for like ad-libbed rapping on top of the song. It works pretty good. It's like this would be better if we can work it out a little better, because even her song isn't entirely finished. So yeah, it still needs some work, but for a rough one doing and I really appreciate the attention to detail with the music and stuff, like her snapping like the E string and stuff like that. I was just like, yeah, that's really nice. Like it just really kind of zoom in there on the details.
I'm trying to think, is the only time we see Kobe in real life when he's holding the manager back when the string breaks, and when he's playing Ring Fit at the studio.
I'll show you, old man. Oh yeah, we'll see. They're just both very much so straining at a fucking
These 90-pound weaklings here spending too much time in the recording studio / battle map table.
You got to do the physical exercise as well. Yeah.
Yeah, continues to be very good. I think the easiest thing to recommend to people this season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as much
does it have the least anime bullshit?
Yeah, as much as I like Birdie Wing, it's full of anime bullshit where you're like, some of this is not going to work for some people.
Yeah. But not from what I've seen in other like public forums, I'd say that, I don't know, they seem to be like, you know, outside of everyone is like into like their big name titles that are ongoing, let's say. But this is the one that seems to have wormed its way into a lot of hearts, and I'm happy that it has.
Oh yeah, I should have mentioned I did watch 4.5 episodes of another spring season show this weekend. What
Came crawling back to the executioner in a way of life.
No, Aoashi is what I watched the first 4.5 episodes of, the soccer anime. It's very good. Because I saw like how well it was selling, the comic was selling in Japan. I was like, oh, that's got anime airing this season. I should probably check it out to see why it's doing so well. And the reason it's doing so well is it's very good. Unsurprisingly, it's a classic sports anime, sports manga. It's about a kid who's got a single parent and an older brother, and he's out in the middle of the countryside. And in the very first episode, I think they're in the semi-finals of the last middle school tournament that he can take part in before he goes to high school. And he gets sent off and ruins his team's chances when he headbutts the opposition team's goalkeeper. And you wonder why he did it, because you only see up to a point of him being insulted and the team being insulted. But then later on, the goalkeeper is brought by his parents to see our main character's mum to apologise for insulting her to her son. And then our main character's mum feels bad because she had headbutted her son in return for headbutting.
That's how we apologise in this house.
Yeah. And then there's also a scout there from, turns out, one of the major teams who's trying to recruit for their junior team. And that's where the story goes after that, is him taken down to, invited to Tokyo and given the opportunity to try out. And the sort of the gimmick of our main character is that he can visualize the pitch as if he was a crow from up above. So you get lots of these crow visuals to like lead into that. It looks very good. It's got a IG production, so it's
stable enough.
Yeah, it's gonna it's gonna be looking good at a minimum, really. And yeah, the sports action is the sort of thing you like, and it goes into like a lot of the details on and off the pitch of how like a junior team of a major football club would work. Okay. So yeah.
Right. How many cyborgs are in this?
Zero. There's some unusual haircuts. There's a guy with dots for eyes, but he's written out early on. Before he's written out, the character has realised he's been written out. He's basically like, I'm not going to be good.
I'm being erased.
I'm not good enough to be a professional footballer. Which, like episodes 2 to 4 are it's basically a lot of 13 and 14-year-old boys, I guess, realising they're not good enough to be professional footballers.
I mean, like, if it depicts like the sport on the pitch and also the mechanics of how to set up a kind of thing, like the industry and that kind of stuff, as well as something like Guruzeni, that could be really interesting.
Yeah,
Guruzeni was all about the money, baby.
I imagine it won't get.
Yet it was still
it won't
really
get
fun
to
to
that
watch.
yet for these kids, but
no, because they're junior. Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I think that is probably.
There's lots in that about the management decisions. It's
exactly.
Yeah, a lot of it is the reactions of the coaches and then them describing what they see in various players, and then they get in the episode 4 they like get the main character to explain what he did on the pitch, and they're like, thank goodness he realized what he's doing. He's not operating entirely on instinct. There is actually some thought going on the pitch in his head. But yeah, it's a fun show. I shall probably, when I've got a long weekend again, I might dip in and watch a whole bunch more episodes. But on to the regular stuff, and that is I'm KODAMA KAWASHIRI, episode 15. And this is pulled off Japanese Wikipedia because there wasn't an episode title. Fun friends in the town where you live, in which
I titled it untitled brackets merry friends in my notes.
Yeah, KODAMA KAWASHIRI introduces us to her merry friends that she knows around town.
This was fucking brilliant, because if you've lived in any town for any length of time, you know the characters.
I'm pretty sure there's one of them I think probably exists in every single town, which would be the second man.
This Uncle Mumbles, he just stands outside the convene and just like talks to himself, maybe just like saying words of encouragement. To make out old man don't give a fuck. He's riding his bike and he's smoking because he's old. He don't care no more. All your favorites. You got Sticky Joe.
Yeah,
these are all her friends, all the characters who fill her life with joy.
Yes.
The way she introduces it as, it's like, these are my friends from town. It's like, what, the weirdos, all the people that people like walk to the other side of the path to avoid that.
The fact that we see her walking, trying to avoid them as this jolly narration explains what great guys they are, and then she's got this horrified face of trying to avoid these creepy men who are in town.
It's amazing. It's so well put
together. Yeah, this is the best episode so far, for sure.
Yeah. This had me fucking rolling all right.
It is more than those kind of get across that, like, she is something of like a fucking, can't think of the proper word for it now. She's a fun stop. She's fucking not got her shit together, but not like any of these lads, in fairness.
Yeah. To be fair, I also do worry as I get older. It's like, am I a character in town? I might fucking be. You never fucking know. That's the worry, right? That you become even a partial character.
Yeah, I think I'm somewhat known. I think I'm a little bit known probably as that dude who wears that jacket or those jackets.
Yeah, that kind of.
I get some pretty ostentatious jackets, and I think I get these like the Turkish supermarket. Probably like, oh, this dude again. Never asked for a bag. He always moves his own.
Then we've got Kaguya-sama, Love is War, Ultra Romantic, Miko Iino Can't Love, Part 1. Students wish to discuss the culture festival. Miyuki Shirogane wants to blow it up.
All right. Oh, it's that time of year when school culture festival. It's all right. It's so cool. When I was about things to happen, got planning stuff, and maybe even a time for love. Last time at a school festival, they had to know, it's like this thing. If you build a big bonfire and you do this fucking ring a rosy around us, and the person that you see straight across from you, when it ends across the fireplace, is going to be your one true love. And I guess like Iino, she was just like very taken by that lovely little story. And even though she's big on discipline and fun, saying, the culture festival is going to be like orderly, and it's going to be no rambunctiousness or misbehaving. She seems like we could have a bonfire, though. I know, but that was pretty cool. So she's been kind of got in with Ishigami to be the student council liaison for the committee for that. It was headed up by Tsubame, that nice girl that Ishigami might have a thing for.
Well, I mean, like he refuses to go check it out until it says, "Hey, she's heading it." He's like, "I'm fucking there. I gotta make sure that they do everything within budget. That's my job. Sure, yeah, absolutely."
Yeah. And there's other like let's say other nerds who are in there who was like, I have a suggestion from or to kind of going through all the like things people be asking up on like concerns or things to be looking out for and saying, "Oh, don't worry about that, Tsubame Senpai. We're actually fully insured for that. We can do that." And saying, "Oh, don't worry about that, Tsubame Senpai. We can do this." And Ishigami saying, "Yeah, but if you did it this way, it would be a lot better." And it's just like shooting down their ideas, or not necessarily shooting them down, just offering like, "No, well,
he's improving all of their ideas. He's basically not naysaying. He's basically going like, "Yeah, that's good, but I can fucking make it work."
Yeah, but they're all going, "This motherfucker right here, he's trying to get the attention of Tsubame Senpai and be the golden boy. We won't let him do it, will we, man?"
There's a little private war between him and I think he calls them all glasses because they're all wearing glasses.
They're a little bit like there was a dude from Urusei Yatsura who I've forgotten their name. You know the dudes. They're always like jealous of Ataru, how he's getting all these ladies drawn to him, and they plot his downfall.
Stormtroopers.
But that's going on in the background.
The Stormtroopers.
That's it.
That's going on in the background of our moral panic character, where she's kind of like, she's trying to get involved, but she's kind of getting like her ideas or her naysayings are kind of getting shot down. It's like, no, that's not going to happen.
She sounds herself a bit too kind of negative, and
yes.
And there's like I've forgotten her name off one like this, the blonde one. She's the one like in the previous arc when Miyuki was, because most of these are also the cheerleading team that Ishigami joined up with. That's why he's like going, "Yeah, go school, yeah." It's just not like him at all.
Yeah.
But she's also the one who kind of she's kind of call people out for what they are and ask them to kind of fun back up your shit. I was trying to get across for this is like, yeah, if you want this, like. You don't need to be so stuck up about it. Like, there's if you got these concerns, or if there's something you need to do, then we'll just do it. And say, well, if you want to have a bonfire, if you want a bonfire, we gotta go to a lot of trouble to do that. Are you willing to go to a lot of trouble? And saying it's just like, yes, because I want a bonfire, but I'm also like disciplinary committee. I'm like a very proper. I'm actually the right person to do this. So to go around to the airport and get all the permits for it.
Yeah, they got to go around to like the neighborhood association, like everyone in the neighborhood, and basically like ask permissions. Like, you guys cool with us doing a big bonfire? And because she's been helping the community for so long, yeah, they're all going to be pretty cool with it. It's just like, oh, that's that nice girl who fucking sweeps up and cleans up the place and does all the bits and everything. Yeah. So it's not going to be a big problem, but it is a lot of footwork basically to do.
Yeah, that was like the blonde girls are always push her to say, well, like. If there's something like I must have kind of pushing you like this to see, if you got the stuff for this, or if you're just going to like this fucking pour cold water, be the wet blanket usually, yeah, but you're not. Yeah. By the way, if one wants to have a bonfires class, I want to have it. Like, yeah, it's cool. What's the middle bit then? Oh, the middle bit is kind of like the it's kind of like the shoujo comic sort of homage here, but they're going around to all of the idols of the school. They're interviewing Kaguya and they're interviewing Tsubame. They're interviewing, I think, even Chika is one of the idols of the school somehow, despite her atrocious character.
Basically, like, what are your plans to do during the festival? That kind of thing. Yeah.
That's better. I haven't seen these ones too much around there. Like I've only seen like here and there just for convenience, but they're getting their own little bit here. The two of the media club, they're just going to a future reporters and photo documentarians who are going around.
Are those the characters who've got a spin-off?
Have you got a spin-off, do they?
Oh, have they? Because they were pretty fun in this. I wouldn't be against that.
It's just like, their journalistic, demeanor just crumbles in the face of, but this Kaguya, she's so lovely. I'm not sure I got answer these hard-hitting questions of her.
Are they Karen and Erica from the back?
Maybe I've forgotten.
They're the mass media club. Karen and Erica discuss various rumors surrounding the school council is the spin-off called We Want to Talk About Kaguya.
They are like fans of the comic written into the comic, yeah. So I guess that sounds about right. Yeah, they're fun characters. I think my favorite joke was the bit with Kaguya. Wasn't that the bit with she quit archery because they think for noble reasons because she's too pure to compete at the commoners level or something like that. Whereas like she doesn't want to take part in the archery thing over December because she might have a date on Christmas, maybe. I mean, on the off
I've
chance
always
that
kept
she
it
might.
open.
Yeah, exactly.
This might be the year.
She leaves the slot open just in case. That's why she quit archery professionally, basically. Yeah.
Oh, the rest of the getting stuck in with the preparation as well. They're wearing these really ugly jumpers. It's just saying, go class.
Oh, they got all those jumpers done up. Yeah.
Go class 2B. Like, yeah, all right. It looks really bad. And they're blowing up balloons and doing balloon animals. Oh, we're going to decorate like our classroom and have it all done up of all. But everyone's like making like horses and I got 2 swords. Look at me, I'm on crowns. And Shirogane can't do it. This one. There's this Tachika's in the room, and it's like she gives
her
a
friend's kind of like, "Hey, why don't you go over and show him how to do it?" And it's like, "Don't fucking ask me that. Do not ask this of me. I have taught him so many things, and all of them have been fucking like draining my life." But she is tempted with her mother hen tendencies to go help the poor child.
Yeah, she argues, well, I'll go help him out. But say no. As his mother, I forbid it. My paternal instinct says you gotta let the spirit out, and that's sometime. So, you gotta let him make his own mistakes.
He grabs some balloons and he heads back to the student council. And he's like, "Hey, Kaguya, do you mind if I try to do some of this here?" And she's like, "Yeah, no problem. I'm just doing my night needlework, so it's grand." And to Kaguya, who's sensitive, this is like torture. It's just like, it's like, just every now and again, there's going to be a loud explosion across the desk from you, and you can't fucking predict when it's going to fucking happen. And it's torture. It's literal torture for her.
Just the visual symbolism there of he goes back to student council room. It was just lovely, like the sunlight shafting into the window. She looks so demure and elegant. Finally get some alone time together, and then he has to just like it's the symbol of his impotence. Just like he has to. He's just slumped over the corner of the table, can't make eye contact.
It's beautiful. Like some shrinks would have a fucking field day with this. It's amazing.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
This is like been splitting me like consistently last couple of weeks, and now it's had me going. But like Shirogane, but do you use the old balloons we had in the storeroom? They're all worn out. See, everyone yesterday was using the new balloons I got. You dummy, you had me worried for a minute.
Like, she blows up one just to show him, and it explodes on her. It's like, yeah, you were just setting yourself up for failure. Here, try one of the new balloons. She's like, oh, wow, thanks. I guess everything's going to be okay. It's just like, how did you fail? Everything went right for you.
But you believed in me. She said she was going to help me, right? Even though I figured out you're going to help me, right? No. That's right, she's going to help him. That's trials of motherhood. Oh yeah, and there was like this whole thing. None of them knew at that time that it was building up. All this activity in the background was gaining momentum for the incident that would happen at the culture festival.
That would change their lives forever.
Also, the editorializing by the media department said, "Well, that's going to be our angle on this, So it's going to be, build tension, dramatic,
happen. Yeah.
Like, ooh, maybe something happened there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if this keeps splitting me like this week to week.
Mm-hmm.
Ever reliable. That's quite what I like about our slate for this season anyway. It seems to be everything seems fairly reliable. There hasn't been many, if any, episodes that were like they've all been like at least very good. Some of them have been outstanding.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Then we got Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai, episode 78, The Survivor from Hell. Who is the survivor? It is him. Him is back.
It's him.
Defying logic. He's back. His head's all smashed in. He seems to have recovered from the hole which was blasted through his torso, though.
They can grow back. It just takes time.
And he's like, all you monsters, get out the way. I want to fight your uncle. But these monsters,
and they're all laughing, and it was like, you're just crap. You're just a chess piece, and you were like fucking the thing of that guy who fucking died. That guy sucked. Your lord is crap, and we're gonna beat you up now. And he's like, how dare you insult?
Well, they punch him in the.
My boy.
No,
Yes.
I am just that guy, but I'm also beautiful.
They punch him in the face, destroying the back of his head, which then causes hair to grow out the hole, and he's got beautiful long hair. And the uncle's like,
chip off the old
he looks
lock.
like Hadla. He's got aura. He's alive. He's become a living thing.
And
he's got aura, all right. He goes aura on all these dudes.
I appreciate his description of like, because like, you know, the way Dai is a guy who's alive and puts his aura into his orichalcum blade. This is a man made of orichalcum with the ability to put his life aura into himself. It's like, shit, that's as strong as Dai's attack. I'm fucked, basically, which is a fair assumption.
And but before he's fucked, all the monsters are fucked first. Does he get punched at the end? He gets punched at the end after we get Chew and the lads.
Like, yeah, we cut away from him. But actually, at the very start of the episode, we get the ending of poor old Zabuera, who like, I just wanted to apologize to you, Crocodile. You're right. I'm out of spells. I'm out of tricks. I'm just gonna like say you were right. I was wrong. I'm slowly seeping poison into my fingernails and hoping you'll try and take my hand in a handshake of gesture of friendship. And you're reaching forward. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh God, you're gonna like curb stomp me now, aren't you? It's like, yes.
I just this was written on before we saw that shit in the Marvel films. He just fun. Let's has the axe go, and just the handle, the haft of it is not the fun pins all the way to the ground. And then you saying, "Sorry, man, some dogs he's gonna put down." He just fucking goes full on Beast King blast to the head.
Yeah, it's so brutal because he's just like shooting at his own, like between his own feet, basically at that stage. It's like
that was a cool move, Crocodile, but now his fried corpse is gonna dissolve all over the handle of your ass. You gotta rinse that off.
And he was very poisonous, so you're
gonna get into the leather and it's going to stain it. Oh.
You're gonna have to clean that very well because he was a very poisonous man. I mean, like literally and figuratively. But his best friend / maybe love interest, I'm not sure. Old man comes up and he's just like, "Hey, I feel kind of bad, old man, because I mean, like, if not for the grace of Dai, there goes me. I mean, like, I could have ended up just as evil as that guy." And the old man's like, "No, Crocodile, you're cool. He was a piece of shit. Like, you have honor and stuff. You had that before you went good. Yeah. So, you know, you're grand."
Yeah.
It's nice.
It is a nice moment. Yeah. So, yeah, it goes to the impact of the punch from him. Then you go to TV advertising break. Then we go with Chew and the guys on the ground again discussing, well, that's great. We can now go and
send in B team.
We can go and heal the guys. We got 3 things can fly, so we'll take 3.
Obviously, I'm going because I'm
and
the
obviously
Beast King.
you're going Crocodile. Just need a 3rd person. And Abby's like, pick me.
Mr. Beast, you're up. All right.
It's the fact her aura expands from her and then taps Chew in the back of his spine. And he's like, oh, something terrible behind me. Mr. Beast.
And she's just going to go like, I do need to constantly heal her, otherwise she will die. So, okay, that is fair.
And then when they fly up, I do like the way they carry Mr. Beast upside down as to preserve his modesty. So that everyone's gazing up underneath his...
They're staring up my puzzle.
Dear. And Crocodile's barely been held aloft by the biggest flyer he had as well.
Yeah, they get to the top.
Well, his ego's got to take a break.
Yes. They send the flyers back down, and Crocodile's like, yeah, Chew, he's really weak, but he's incredibly positive. One day he may be somebody incredibly important, which I assume is massive foreshadowing on Crocodile's part.
Dear.
A cornered mouse always fights back.
Yeah, and then we go back to Hyunko getting killed by him.
We cut back to him about to be punched in the face, and he gets punched in the face. That's how it goes.
And he passes out. and then he sees a vision.
And he's also falling into the same abyss that we saw him falling into in his recollection, which I was like, oh yeah, because Hyunkel's been to hell multiple times at this fucking stage. Yeah.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. But who
if
pulls
only
him
he
out?
could rise up from this and, I don't know, fight Hyunkel shirtless or something. That would be pretty sweet.
It's pretty tough. Yeah, totally tough. But remember, like, yeah, well, it gets the vision of him and saying, no, man, like, you got one come back out. That's you're not driven by hate and revenge anymore.
Yeah. Stand up, Hyunkel says, mind Avon. Stand up. And
a real hero doesn't give up until he fights to the finish, win or lose.
So he does, and him,
use everything.
Him's like, you're up. That's what I wanted to see. That's what I want from my eternal rival.
We've known each other for like the space of just over a week, and we're already eternal rivals. Yeah.
I mean, like that's as long as him has been alive. So yeah, I think that's fair.
My first eternal rival, I've met so far.
Actually, it's longer than he's been alive because he's only been alive for like a half an hour at most of this.
No, there was some time in between when Dai was trapped in the iceberg, and we thought everyone.
No. What I mean is when him was kicked off of the flying fortress. He died and then came back to
properly
alive.
alive. He's only been alive for half an hour because before he was being maintained by magical power being funneled from Hadlar into him.
Exactly. He's been alive for an hour at tops.
Yeah, however long it's been since Hadlar died.
Yeah.
Actually, now we got to record a retraction, lads. Damn it.
Because presumably, the Hyunkel's theory is that some of Hadlar's life made it into him's body, and that's what's given him.
Well, his haircut made it in, so yeah.
The spark of existence now belongs to him, and I assume a face turn is in order at some point down the line, because
I will fulfill the will of Hadlar. It's like, Hadlar died a good guy, right?
And you just beat up all those bad guys.
Yeah, and Hadlar says, out of all my chess piece children, you're the most like me, him.
Yes.
Most likely to do a heel turn then, yeah. Or babyface, yeah.
Heritage is fabulous hair. No, but with great hair, we got to be like Samson. The metaphor has been very potent here. You got to just gotta be a hero. Got to be fighting on, win or lose.
Yeah, so they're gonna have a fight next week. And I looked it up. We're not even 4/5 of the way through the story yet in the comic, so. I guess it'll be going up to about episode 100 or something around there. Because remember, we've had 2 episodes weren't even part of the manga; they were part of the spin-off.
Oh yeah, they were the extras.
So still a way to go. We've got that mysterious figure who they've sent out. We got Mistvern to deal with. We've got Kilvern with his new face on, and we got Vern. And maybe some other people who are inside the castle who we've not met yet.
You can't keep talking about the underworld without having to go to the underworld
at
some point.
That's true.
Not the last
yes,
castle.
I don't know whether what happened to the dragon who used to be leading the other third faction, whether they're dead or somehow still around.
It's called Dragon Quest, Brian. You're on a quest to find a dragon.
But the
One Piece was a dragon.
There's some good action in the bits with him fighting the monsters.
Yep, clipped and saved for future use.
Then we get. I've put the wrong title in for some reason. I put Survivor in Hell into Spy Family. What's the episode called? Episode 7 of
The Target's Second Son. Episode 7 of Spy Family.
I was like, I don't remember that being part of Spy Family 7.
Well,
every episode this week is called The Survivor from Hell. It's a good week.
Welcome with it. It's kind of like Shark Week. Everyone's about Survivor Week. Well, Lloyd could be a survivor from hell. He's like, grew up in a conflict zone. His family taken from him by warfare. He's here now, trying to teach his daughter maths.
The plan is to try and fix Plan B a little bit. Is the apologize plan? It's time to apologize. Don't panic. She can still apologize. Day 2, first day proper of school. We're okay.
The
This is
apology,
manageable.
unfortunately, and Lloyd doesn't know this, has worked too well by the time the apology happens, in that Damien has now fallen in love with Anya. And
Sensible.
he is in
Sensible. Fucking adorable.
denial about it.
Yeah, the Anya's pulling of his pigtails, by which I mean punching him across the fucking corridor, has absolutely worked.
I like the
case.
fact that it teases it enough before the apology that it's already in your. It's like it's established that he's already got feelings for her, and then once she apologizes and is bawling her eyes out, that's the thing which pushes him over the edge.
But she's not even bawling her eyes out because she's really upset that she punched him. She's bawling her eyes out because she can hear the other two, his bully friends, kind of going like, "Yeah, you stupid pipsqueak, short legs, ugly, dumb, poo-poo face." They can hear all the insults that their boss could possibly come up with, and she's like, "I'm hearing all these insults, and they're really hurting my feelings." But that just breaks his little heart. But how can I make this perfect angel cry?
Just like when that happens in all those little scenes, which we guys post, like, getting from his point of view, because she can like hear his thoughts in the backphone saying, "Fucking God, it drives me crazy," and she can't glance back and say, "Oh shit, I'm fucking gotta make it right with him." We've seen that as her glancing back over her shoulder. There's sparkles in there every time, just like across the playground. It's just like I just get lost in those emerald pools. Oh, I know, I hate you. Get out of my face.
And it's such a long build-up as well, while Lloyd's taking the day off being a psychiatrist, and
his main enemy.
He's not only spying; he's trying to fucking what was the name of that fucking movie where they try and mind heist? He's trying to that
Inception.
by himself, which is very difficult. Yes, he's trying to inception her because he's like into the topiaries. He's carved the word sorry. All this kind of fucking mad plans.
His main enemy on this mission though is Becky, Anya's one friend.
Is she a counter spy? What is going on here?
She's like her father is like the war profiteer, so maybe like he's got ties with Desmond.
She's trying to keep the war going. I fucking see how it is, little girl. All right.
I'm probably overreacting to that, but goddamn it, she's wrecking my shit today.
His brilliant plan of it's like running away, getting to the office is like, "Would Becky please come to the office?" And it's like, "Oh, I'm having fucking lunch right fucking now. Get to the fucking office," kind of thing.
That's funny. They shouldn't be able to hear that.
But Anya's apology works. It works.
It works, but not to Lloyd's appearance.
It's questionable. The results cannot be accurately gauged at this time.
From Lloyd's point of view,
we need hard information, hard intel.
From Lloyd's point of view, a small boy went red in the face with rage and was like, "I will never forgive you," and stormed off. Where he was just like, "I gotta get out of here because I'm about to have a fucking heart attack because she's too damn cute. Too cute. Need to get out."
Yes. And then we get like a little bit at the end with Lloyd and you're realizing, oh, we've got to be parent, or Lloyd more than you're making Lloyd realize that I've got to be a parent to this child. That was the crux of the plan.
They're both kind of convincing each other and everything of, oh man, I guess I'm not really her mother, so I shouldn't be telling you what to do. And he's like, "No, you're functionally her mother. Like you're looking out for her and everything, so you're cool." And then him realizing, I wonder what having a real family would be like. Is his realization? It's like, dude, you're her dad. What the fuck are you talking about? They're too dumb to realize that they are an actually excellent family somehow.
Yeah. Well, that's the well, I gotta be the ideal perfect family, to try and fool this, but. You think like, yeah, but even like the obviously perfect family got fun problems of their own. Like no family is like this all the time, so it's unrealistic to expect that. She's 6. She's getting on pretty well on this espionage gig. In fairness to her.
Yeah, and the fact that he cares for and they care for each other's well-being is like, yeah, you guys are a good family. Because even the simple thing was like, okay, I'm going to teach you how to do fractions. And it's just like, and you're not going to watch your spy cartoon until you get this right. And she's like, "No, I don't want to do it." But she actually just goes off to a room to study. And he's like, maybe I am a terrible father. It's like, no, you're a good dad because she wants to make you happy.
But you're does tell.
But that's also more.
Yeah,
it's also
Niall.
I was just say sorry.
Sorry.
Some of that is also born of the fear that if she's not a good girl, then Mammy and Daddy will go away.
Yeah. That is the fear, but like it, as the characters don't know this, but as the audience watching it, is like these motherfuckers love the shit out of each other. That's not happening.
Yes, but Yor makes the point that
Oh, yeah.
he should do more little positive reinforcements.
Yeah, like her brother did
Yes.
for her, because she learned more from her little brother than he did from her. She was the breadwinner, by which I mean the assassin, who would then use that money to put him through school.
Yeah, this
basically.
is all leading us up to the punchline of, yes, what a great family these people are. Oh, you forgot to mention to your brother that you were married and he had to learn it.
From his co-worker down the office down the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's quite a blunder for somebody who was part of the secret police. Oh man, under my nose all this time.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I met her husband. Congratulations, by the way. He's like, did you fucking what? Sorry,
Well,
excuse
no,
me.
because
Congratulations.
he was asking what was the man like that she brought to the party. And then he's
That's
like,
right,
congratulations. And then that's the reveal of her being married to him. And yes, he drops his briefcase. His cool has been broken at the learning of this news. And I guess that's what we'll deal with in the next episode.
Again, just the brilliance of spy father, assassin mother, psychic child, and spy catcher brother-in-law, and or uncle. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like the comedy is there, but it is like genuinely sweet in those other moments too. Even with Anya, just like this real like kind of first day at school kind of fears there. Am I going to get on with people? Already, it's gotten out that it's like, oh, that's the dude who fucking clocked your man there, and they're all like seated like a good distance away from her.
He's got a bad rep. Yeah, straight
But Becky's there saying, "Well, don't mind them. They're all fucking talking out their arse, like." And she's right. It's like, oh, well, Becky around school isn't so scary after all.
Yes, but Becky also has to stop her from calling her. How do they translate like the Sama?
Ojo-sama.
It's like
rich girl.
Yeah.
Can I be a rich girl too? Oh well, I was born into it. I'm not sure about you.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not going to adopt you. I think is the line she says. But yeah, they're like.
Don't you know that love can't grow unless you're friends with the psychic girl?
And yeah, they kind of do the overwhelming thing too, because there's certain plot points would be instantly eliminated if she was able to focus in on one person and read their minds.
Also, if she wasn't like a little kid who misinterpreted
that's
everything,
true, because you have to remember,
minds.
She's actually younger than she should be in this year, because
she's not even 6.
They're pretending
basically
to have her be 6. Which, yeah, you do occasionally have to remind yourself of that plot point from the very first episode. It's like they're doing a good job at tricking you, the viewer, as well, into making you forget that. But yeah, it's Spy Family. It's very good. But I don't think it's ever going to be worse than very good.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, what the material it's adapting is, I think, almost universally beloved at this stage.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Just a straight thing of that to be fine.
The manga sales rocketing again.
Fantastic.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, I think Volume 1 it's likely to reach 2 million sales in Japan during this first series. Yeah, it's doing a cracking job. That's it for this week. We will be back on Wednesday next week. Is that correct, Niall? Yes.
Yeah, we're getting close to the times I'm going to be away, I think, so I will update for that. But this is now will not be one of those weeks.
And
so we'll continue as per usual schedule.
I guess we'll also, if things are to be believed, I guess we might be able to tell people what events or we're not doing at KittyCon next summer, or this summer.
The impression I get is that they will take.
That is the thing.
They're
yes.
still hunting around for a few.
That did put a lump in my throat, because I did say on one of my events, I say, well, I'll do it 55 minutes because I'm doing the same event at Amicon. But if you're really short of things, I could do it at 90 minutes, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it for 90 minutes. I mean, I'm fine doing it 90 minutes. I got the material, but it would have been nice to do a 55-minute one. But we'll see. We'll find out by end of the week, hopefully. So we'll let you know next week. Oh, the people who like the live events of Niall and Brian. Come see us live,
Yes.
or in my case, behind a mask, and maybe also I may have pre-recorded all the audio.
We'll
So
see.
it may not be live at all. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the good thing about Warwick, of course, is you've got proper lecture rooms, which hopefully they're using because it is KitterCon. They did choose not to use them last time they ran at Warwick and put a load of events in not in those theatres.
Yeah, it isn't. Was that due to the works they were doing? I think it was maybe a bit.
At that point.
Oh.
It's been a bit overly cautious, I think, or maybe they didn't push hard enough for it. I don't know.
Weird. Hopefully they'll have learnt from previous errors, but that will be an exciting thing for us to find out going back to a con.
Oh, what way would it be now? Would it ever be the same? Maybe it'll be better. Who knows?
That's what I was wondering, but at the same time, I'm going strictly just Friday to Sunday. I'm not having any extra days, so I'm still going to limit my chances of catching anything, or indeed giving something to other people.
Yeah, no monkeypox, please.
No.
Yeah.
We'll see you next.
By hotness, I mean the fucking sweats are going to be under.
We'll see you next week. Goodbye for now. Ta-ta.
Bye-bye.
And if I hit this button, that should end.